Hey, man. How come that cat ain't moving?
You think he's dead?
You in there? Huh? What is it?
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. I love America a lot, but it's super embarrassing to be an American under Joe Biden's tenureship residency at the White House. Joe Biden ripped ass and let out a very, very long fart. First time he traveled to England as resident of the White House. He did this while speaking about renewable gas-powered natural energy. So maybe he was trying to send a message. Not exactly sure. But this isn't the most embarrassing thing that Joe Biden did on camera, letting out what is a long fart, according to the Duchess of Cornwall. It was so loud that it was impossible to ignore. Just a reminder, this is what Joe Biden did. And it tends to happen with men of his age. What Joe Biden did during the actual conference is to legitimately fall asleep. Now, we hear a lot of mewling, bitching, complaining, a lot of hot air, as it were, from people of Joe Biden's ilk, saying that we need to save the environment and how important these kind of things are. Yet, here is Joe Biden literally asleep during these really, really important conferences. You can see here, he's just sleeping. And he's done this quite a bit, actually. Joe Biden has done this for existential threats to the environment. He did this during the Maui ceremony for all of the poor working class neighborhoods that were lit on fire under very suspicious circumstances in Maui, in Hawaii. Joe Biden asleep, literally asleep during the ceremony. You can see here. Here he is. Joe Biden, not able to keep his eye open, and now sleeping during the Maui ceremony. Joe Biden's so bad at this. It's called Sundown syndrome, by the way. It's when old people, when the sun is going down, old people just go right to sleep, right? So the sun's down and you go to sleep. Joe Biden's done this during interviews. Don't book an interview with Joe Biden at the wrong time. He'll literally fall asleep. Listen to the interviewer on MSNBC go, hey, Mr. President, hello, Bueller, you still with us?
I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh.
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that,
he's like, hello,
that we're doing something very important.
Hello, and you have no idea what they cut, right? You have no idea what they cut. And these aren't live interviews, right? They're exclusive interviews, and so you have no idea what they cut in between. Listen to this guy.
Mr. President. Oh.
Hello, Mr. President. So this should come as absolutely no. So Joe Biden's crapping his pants, falling asleep at all these ceremonies. It should come to it should come as no surprise to you that Joe Biden fell asleep also during the Memorial Day ceremony. And this is particularly bad because Memorial Day is, you could argue, the most sacred holiday here in this country. If you are an actual red-blooded patriot, and if you are somebody who cares about this country, then honoring the lives of everybody who died in the service of this nation, keeping this the land of the free and the home of the brave, this would be a very, very important thing for you, presumably. Yet, Joe Biden falling asleep at a Memorial Day ceremony in Arlington National Cemetery, our most sacred cemetery in this nation. Never a great look. So here's what Joe Biden did. We'll just go ahead and play it. It seems pretty unmistakable that Joe Biden, whilst during the services at Arlington National Cemetery, fell asleep. You can see here Joe Biden holding his eyes not upward, but barely being able to keep his eyes open while the ceremony is going on and while other people are giving speeches. It becomes really clear that Joe Biden tries to jostle himself awake, but then drifts back into sleep. Look at this guy. Look at the expression on his face. This is not AI. This is not a Photoshop. This is Joe Biden legitimately asleep. He's completely asleep. Look at this. Dude's out. Dude is out. He's out. Again, Memorial Day is a day to honor fallen service members in our nation. And the commander-in-chief presumably should be able to keep his eyes open during said ceremony, but couldn't. Let's go ahead and read here, ladies and gentlemen. President Biden delivered remarks at the ceremony in Arlington National Cemetery commemorating Memorial Day. Notable for a couple things. First, that the Biden family delivered an accurate account of how his son Beau died, even though reportedly he can't remember when he passed away anymore. The president, who never passes at a chance to grief peddle, finally admitted that his son died of brain cancer and not in Iraq, as he has said many times. That's called stolen valor. Yet, let's go to the unseemly part. It looks like Biden fell asleep during the ceremony. It's not the first time this has happened. In 2021, it was reported the president passed out during a meeting with Naftali Bennett. This is was the president of Israel, and this was during a White House meeting. This is probably the best video to date proving Joe Biden sleeping, as the president of Israel talks to him, and Joe Biden's chin is literally on his chest, legitimately on his chest. And he, like, the guy's like, anybody? Nothing? Anybody? Look at that. Look at this guy. Joe Biden's straight up asleep on camera. Completely asleep on camera. The article goes on to say that Joe Biden's done this with various other leaders at the White House, and Joe Biden looked at his watch during a dignified transfer ceremony with the 13 American service members that were killed by his bloody hand in Afghanistan. It is 100% Joe Biden's fault that these men were killed. The internet responding here, oops, I fell asleep during Memorial Day, says Joe Biden parody account. Biden caught sleeping, Memorial Day service. Uh-oh. Biden fell asleep Memorial Day. What in the world is wrong with him? Well, dementia, and he's just really, really old. And he's corrupt, and his soul has been sucked out by the demons that occupy his brain. Joe Biden fell asleep at Arlington National Cemetery Memorial Day. This event is supposed to honor our heroes. Joe Biden shames them. No surprise. Joe Biden asleep. The worst places here at Memorial Day event. Terrible to fall asleep. The other place was Honolulu event after it was burned down. Joe Biden fell asleep there. Again, we've covered Joe Biden falls asleep during interviews, so why wouldn't he just fall asleep when other people are speaking? Speaking of somebody who, takes note of this, Donald Trump saying this at a recent rally.
Call from the top man, President Xi, who you have to respect for strong. Can you imagine him dealing with Biden? Biden walks in, he falls asleep. They say, get this guy out of here. He won't know. He won't know where he was. But I got a call from the top guy. He said, please stop the tariffs. You're killing us. I said, okay. But they're great negotiators. I mean, they are great much better than the people we have negotiating. We have these guys go over there begging. They're like beggars. But they knew that Crooked Joe and Nikki Haley are very good for China. They're China people. They're into China. Donald J. Trump is good for the United States of America. That's what I'm good for.
So, does Joe Biden fall asleep with world leaders? Lots of examples of this, quite frankly, from across the world. Here we have various reporters saying that Joe Biden is skipping dinners because he's sleepy with world leaders. He's falling asleep during the actual press conferences. People like the leader of Turkey. And that Joe Biden is incapable of even attending the kind of little diplomatic dinners that you have to do in that role. We're not saying that the job of the president is easy. We're simply saying that you shouldn't have somebody with full-blown dementia that can't walk up a flight of stairs or stay awake doing it. And that is why we must ensure that America gets put first in November. Ladies and gentlemen, marching onward to victory and fully awake, not woke. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay peace.